it could be as subtle as don't put him back in the title scene,
Right.
or for a long, long time at least. And then he wins. So then the fact that he just wins it, just wins the title, was pretty amazing and pretty awesome moment. Just as far as
Though
like,
you would think that at this point, AJ Styles, his testicles would be like Weapon X level invulnerable. It would have the strength of like adamantium lining or something like that. Given
I
all
think
the
that they're just destroyed at this point. Like they're just
yeah, or they're not there exactly.
you can't take one more.
It's just dust, like like all of those nut shots from Shinsuke. Yeah, but apparently,
I imagine if like suddenly WWE got really weird if like when Daniel Bryan gave him the low blow, they like had this like superimposed image of Shinsuke laughing in the background. Like,
or he's really upset because Daniel Bryan did what he couldn't.
right.
He's like, oh, you have to use your foot. That's the secret. I really want to get. I don't know if it'll happen or not. I can't guarantee it, of course, but I really want a promo where Miz talks about how proud he is of Daniel Bryan, the same way Ciampa was like proud of Gargano.
Right.
Just like you did what I said you should do, which is win by any means necessary. Now, yes, it was a little rushed because all of a sudden, after the match, after he won, because when he saw the ref was down, he had sort of this moment. He's like, should I? Should I do this? And he made the choice, like, I'm going to break the rules, kicked him in the nuts, hit him with the knee, beat him. But then afterwards, he was like
afterwards he went full heel.
He was like a cackling maniac. Yeah. He was like, that was his Joker moment. And, I don't know how you stand on it, but I'm for it. I guess Daniel Bryan is reported to have wanted this for a while. He's wanted a heel turn. I think, as frustrated as we've been with the way he's been booked as a babyface, which is really stupidly and in ways that make him seem really obtuse and dense and weak and constantly getting one-upped by the Miz in the logic department.
Yeah.
I think he probably really wanted this change. Also, he just likes to change things up. And I think a babyface win for the title would have been really cool, but it would have been really cool last June.
Yes.
More closer to when he returned. Now, he's been hovering around in that mid-card for so long that, turn him heel. Remember, like, he was heel when he got his first world title win in WWE. Like, that's what got him over, was being that heel.
I mean, they introduced the no chance to stop him from going over, from the crowd loving him too much.
But even that was later. Like the yes chant started when he was heel.
Yeah,
like that's when he was first heel, and he was doing those yes chants just to be annoying.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was a really cool switcheroonie. Had nothing to do with Becky Lynch. Apparently, it does make me care about Survivor Series a little more because I do want to see Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar. And I don't know, when Vince made this decision, it really sounded kind of matter of fact. So I guess that's just how he makes decisions about that particular title, because it was kind of like, well, I don't want to see AJ Styles lose again, and might as well. All right, so
yeah.
So that was really fun.
Did you read the new interview Uproxx did with Gargano that ran a day or so ago?
Oh, no.
It's an interesting interview because at one point they talk about Daniel Bryan winning and the manner he won. And anyway, and like Johnny kind of talks about how it's interesting because, and it can be frustrating because people like Daniel Bryan and him, who are portrayed as like the underdog, the audience sort of expects like a very certain way of behaving. Basically what he was saying is you can't be the anti-hero if you're that character. It's like Aleister Black, who's also like a face, can like, attack people willy-nilly and threaten the GM, and it's just like, oh, that's part of what he kind of speaking to where Becky is right now. It's like, or of course Stone Cold being like the ultimate example of that.
Do you think it's a size issue? Like if you're undersized, you should sort of be grateful you're there and not be
I think so, because either they play you as like Weasley or like the noble, like, a very like, the noble underdog who's fighting for the right thing.
I get it. Let's see. Broken Face Becky, AJ wins the title, and I mean, those are the big news. I do want to leave room for us to run down through the Survivor Series and TakeOver cards.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Dean Ambrose finally giving his answer, question mark, because I didn't really get what his point was.
Did he light the trash can fire, Matt?
Well, I don't know. He
come across it.
He may have requested. He's like, I need a burning trash can. Like, it depends on like how much of a production it all was. Or was he driving along and he's like, hey, a burning hobo fire. This feels very Escape from New York. I'm going to go sit in front of this. Or is it a thing where it's like anywhere he goes now, he needs some sort of, it needs to look like Los Angeles, 1999. Gang warfare has taken over the city.
Right? Tanks drive on Hollywood Boulevard.
It's like Predator 2 meets Demolition Man meets
Strange Days.
But yeah, I mean, and then I am assuming that was not gasoline in the canister because I was very nervous watching him pour gas all over the vest so close, close to that fire.
Yeah, I don't think it was either.
Okay, I was like, this is gonna be the worst. This will be the worst on-air live like actual death ever because, and the fact that I can actually say that there are others.
Jeez. Grim.
Yeah, but I didn't get his point. He was just like, the Shield made me weak. You made fun of me too much. I don't know. He's just in a bad mood, Eric.
He's just a lunatic.
Who you calling lunatic?
Right.
How dare you?
You! That was your phrase.
He's like, I beg to differ, sir. I don't recall this at all.
I had a lot of strongly worded letters to WWE.com not to call me that on my merchandise, but they did not listen.
Are you lunatic shaming me?
Right.
Yeah, and then they went to Renee again. And they were like, Renee, what's up with that now? And then she was like, I don't know.
Weird.
That was weird, wasn't it, guys?
Anyway, we've got a weekend little like bed and breakfast we're going to, and so maybe I'll try to talk about it again.
If it comes up,
right.
We're going to wine country, so I'll see. We're going to go up to California Central Coast, go to San Luis Obispo. Maybe I'll bring it up in between podcasts in the car. Yeah, but what'd she say? She's like, this is Dean's story to tell. He's shut down. I don't know. So you're not getting any answers out of Renee, though they are still trying. I wonder when they're just going to stop. Like, shouldn't they just stop? Maybe. Would that be even weirder if they just stop asking her altogether?
Should she just be like, look, I will offer information when I have it?
No, yeah. When you have something to say, Renee, you say it. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Eric, as a Jew?
I was going to talk about this.
Okay. Yeah, as the Jew, you bring this up.
As the Jew. About the Lesnar and Heyman, Jinder and the Singh brothers. Everything was weird. Because, again, we've talked about how Jinder recently, like, had been... It felt more racist with... Like, he was still a heel, but now we were just supposed to, like, boo him because he was, like, trying to, like... find a nice tranquility. Like, it was just strange.
Well, he was using heel yoga,
and it felt more racial and weird. But then it was weird because it was like, first Heyman felt a little racist with what he was saying, but then Brock had a crack about, like, because what was the line he said about him being
so
so weird. It was all weird.
So Jinder was saying, like, you guys need to listen to my chants because these are going to put you guys over the top. They're going to help you beat, at the time, I guess, AJ Styles, right?
Yeah.
And listen to what I can do. I can help you find inner calm, inner peace, and inner tranquility. Listen to these chants. And then Brock says, you should hear this. You're Jewish. Like, yeah. But it's like, was that a joke?
I don't know.
Or was it an insult?
I don't know.
What was his intention, Eric? What did it mean?
Look, I am on record as being a very bad Jew, guys. I dropped out of Hebrew school. I don't know nothing about nothing.
I mean, that's a pretty good gimmick, though. Hebrew school dropout.
Hebrew school dropout. When people were like mentioning that it's, Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur, I'm like, is it? And like asking me what those things mean. I'm like, I don't know, guys.
Wow, even I know what those things mean.
I mean, if I had to, maybe. Anyway, so I'm like, I don't know if it was an insult, a joke, or what, because I'm like, is he saying? Yeah.
And why did he, like, he never speaks? Why did he choose that moment to, like, ad-lib?
You're my friend the Jew? I don't know. It was weird.
It just makes me feel like that's what all he talks about with Paul Heyman. It's like they're riding in a cab. You hail the cab. You're a Jew. Like, what does that mean?
I don't know. It was so... Yeah, I guess I will just say I was bemused because I didn't know if I should be insulted. I'm saying both from my lack of knowledge on Jewish issues.
Well, I'm insulted about that.
Mixed with my lack of understanding of Brock's intention, I just didn't know.
Look, as Ronda Rousey clearly stated, just because you're outraged doesn't mean you're right.
Right.
Which is now the catchphrase for this podcast.
Yes.
So what we're saying is Brock Lesnar is really, really good at improv. And he should be on Curb.
Yes. That would be amazing.
Actually, that would be
I wanted to be on Curb holding both belts.
He's like, why'd you park like that? And what's with the Zanku chicken?
Somehow a Curb episode ends with like Larry having to fight him in a steel cage.
Larry gets F5'd and then
the music hits. Yeah. Anyway, and then it's also just weird because I wasn't sure, like, is this like a sort of weird comical face turn for Jinder? Like, you know, is it just? I mean, Jinder doesn't have anything to do right now anyway, so is it just like, oh, well, kind of like Elias kind of made that like subtle shift at a certain point. Now it's more direct with Bobby, but it was like, oh, at a certain point now he's just like he's supposed to be a heel, but not really anymore.
Speaking of careless whispers. Because we talked about people calling Nia Jax careless earlier. That German suplex to Singh Brother number 1 or 2, you see that, like, replayed? Like, they're tiny guys, so he was able to throw them quite a distance. But there was one in particular that landed right on the back of his head. And it was almost like, oh no, we're down to one Singh Brother again.
Again, yeah.
Oof.
I didn't because I didn't know that we had 2 again until they came out.
That's true. I don't know what you see on the Hulu cut. What if you always see the Jinder segment, but Hulu always cuts out one Singh?
We're missing a Singh. One Singh. We don't got time for 2 Singhs on Hulu.
Speaking of Hulu, I don't know if you noticed this because you're Hulu and you're a damn dirty cord cutter. There is no more. As of this week, there's no more Raw overrun. You know, Raw always went to like 10:10.
Yeah.
No, and the news came out last week. I didn't expect it to grab hold as soon as this week. Like, they are reining that in. Now it's, cut to Chris, or on Tuesdays now, cut to Country, whatever that Pure Country show is.
Yeah.
And that's why the opening segment, it's like, it started and a match was underway. You know, that tag team thing?
Yeah.
And then Braun ran in, and then Steph came out, and then Corbin came out, and then Ronda came out. Like, they crammed so much in at the beginning, I feel like, because, they're missing that 10 minutes now.
Yeah, I did not know that, yeah.
They had to give everyone their due, And it is interesting if we're cycling back to some of our beginning chats here on the We Enjoy Wrestling podcast, the fact that they just ran the tag team battle royal later. Like, what was planned? Yeah. Like, it got interrupted at the beginning, but they obviously had time for it later too. So,
right.
What got moved around?
Well, yeah, what got pulled completely that should have been there. So much is created on the fly that like their schedule in-universe schedule is just so much emptiness. It's like weird because it's got to be like it's like 3 mid-card matches and then like all this empty space to be decided during show.
Oh, it's TBD. Well, sadly, it was going to be a Singh versus Singh match. We didn't get it. Braun referred to himself.
Last Singh standing?
Oh, last Singh standing? That would be great. Think of more puns while I talk about Braun referring to himself. Not quite referring to himself, saying, you corporate types think of me as a mindless meat castle.
Mindless meat castle.
Which I feel like you would be something you would totally eat if it were at Taco Bell.
The mindless. I don't know. I just think it's like kind of an amazing introduction. hailing from wherever, the mindless meat castle.
That's if they, they make those zombie figures for WWE. Like that would